Denver 7 On Demand is brought to you by Ferguson and BAC Appliance Center, the best in bath, kitchen, and lighting for your home.
I'm Shannon Ogden with the latest from Denver 7. Boy, the avalanche threat right now is no joke in our state, and one man's alive to tell his story after his car, family inside, was buried in yesterday's avalanche. He's speaking to Denver 7's Jason Grinauer about this scary ordeal.
A ski trip to Copper Mountain for the Goldman family changed in an instant.
As soon as it hit the truck, everything changed. I mean, you just felt the power of it and the force.
An avalanche captured from another angle slid down 10 Mile Canyon onto I-70 and right into the family's truck.
And it literally shifted the truck, sideways off the road. At the same time, we were blind, completely blind.
The Colorado Avalanche Information Center says the slide was likely a Category 3 avalanche with enough force to demolish a house.
It was scary when, you can't really see anything going on and your car was just moving out of the control.
Came across, this is I-70. This is the road we're looking at.
This was the immediate aftermath.
Nobody's hurt.
Officials say avalanches happen here often, they just rarely reach the road. That's why mitigation usually isn't done here.
These are natural hazards, and so although we can reduce the risk, we cannot remove the risk.
We were pretty lucky. Could have been so much worse.
Now the Goldmans are thankful to be home with a newfound respect for the power of Mother Nature.
Definitely something you won't take for granted anymore when we drive through I-70, realizing that it can be pretty treacherous.
We're told that mitigation work was done in up to a dozen other places in the days leading up to this weekend storm, and that even more mitigation was done this morning along many of the major passes to try to make sure that avalanches and snow doesn't end up on major roads. But also, we have a warning for you from the CAIC that avalanche danger remains high, specifically in backcountry areas. Reporting along I-70, I'm Jason Grinauer, Denver 7.
And the avalanche threat's not over. Right now, the Summit County Rescue Group is investigating a small avalanche outside Silverthorne, and this is an area very popular for skiers and snowboarders. Now, fortunately, nobody was trapped, nobody was hurt, and it appears to just have been a natural avalanche. And a tragic end in the search to find a skier who never came home Sunday in San Miguel County. Search and rescue dogs found the man's body buried in the Matterhorn area southwest of Telluride. So here's a question for you. Should pot go public? That question right now is being debated in the Colorado legislature. A bill just passed a House Finance Committee. Some are calling it key for the cannabis industry to expand, but some are sounding the alarm. That's why Denver 7's Megan Lopez is going 360.
In a packed room across the street from the Capitol, a legislative committee contemplates the future of the marijuana industry in Colorado with a bill that would pave the way for public investment in pot companies. Supporters say this is the next logical step to help the marijuana industry grow. Critics say this would open the door to illegal activity. But some businesses say Colorado is falling behind other states and needs to do this to compete.
Today, as a cannabis company in Colorado, your sources of investment need to be other Colorado residents who are willing to invest directly, personally.
Meaning there's a relatively small pool of money. For years, Colorado cannabis companies have made it work. But with states like California and Florida already giving the green light for public investment, their businesses are growing dramatically. And there might not be enough money here to keep Colorado competitive.
They feel a little bit left out.
House Bill 1090 would change that.
It would really expand the pool of investment quite dramatically.
Colorado was a thought leader, and we are fast losing traction.
For Christy Kelly from the Marijuana Industry Group, it's a matter of keeping up with the times.
Colorado's in a position where we're playing catch up. Any new industry, any business needs access to capital.
That money can be used to add stores, come up with new products, and hire more employees, among other things, because for her, the bottom line is
cannabis is a part of the community and a part of the economic story.
However, Dean Heiser from LiveWell says Colorado is already behind the rest of the country.
In order for us to get back where we belong, which is the leader of this entire industry in the country, we need this infusion of capital.
LiveWell now has 17 dispensaries in the state, But he says it's been a slow and difficult climb. Heiser believes LiveWell is losing out to other states.
All of our talent is leaving our state for bigger salaries, bigger opportunities.
He says this bill is the right balance between strict regulations and supporting business.
But it's going to free up enough capital so that we can retake the lead that we had.
But Chris Woods from Terrapin Care Station says there's no need to rush.
We're asking the legislature to take a pause here to carefully study how this industry is going to shape the business landscape for the cannabis industry for the next 50 years.
Woods and opponents of the bill have serious questions about where businesses would be able to bank their money since marijuana is still illegal under federal law. They're also worried about the accuracy of financial reporting and who would regulate it.
Because of the potential black market activity that this creates.
And he says this bill could hurt smaller cannabis businesses in the long run.
We view this bill as a way that this industry becomes homogenized. Smaller mom and pop minority-owned businesses would have no choice but to sell to larger companies.
Woods believes there are other ways to bring in more investment. With more competition than ever from other states, the question now is what Colorado's cannabis future should look like.
Do we want to continue to have a vibrant and growing legal cannabis industry, or do we want to keep it kind of in a smaller scale and let other jurisdictions really take the lead? Those are both valid choices.
Megan Lopez, Denver 7.
New for you tonight, Weld County could become the next Colorado county to declare itself a Second Amendment sanctuary county. Last week, Fremont County approved the same declaration in response to the Red Flag Bill making its way through the state legislature. The Red Flag Bill would allow law enforcement or a family member to ask a judge to temporarily remove firearms from someone who is considered at risk of harming himself or others. Fremont County officials say the bill is unconstitutional. They say they do not want to appropriate funds used to take people's guns away. Well, tonight there's calls to delay tomorrow's Senate committee hearing over a new bill that would change the way the state oversees the oil and gas industry. The Colorado Republican Party says they just need more time to review the legislation, calling it an attempt by the Democrats to rush this through the legislature quickly. So this sweeping legislation would give local governments, instead of the state, authority to regulate new drilling. The bill also says local governments could issue fines for leaks and spills and emissions, and that operators must install continuous emission monitoring. It also would change the way forced pooling works, requiring more than 50% of mineral owners to have a say before drilling instead of the current one homeowner. We'll keep you updated on tomorrow's hearing if it is in fact postponed. From the First Alert Weather Center, a nice respite from the cold and snow. It's still going to be very, very cold tonight, but we are an upward trend towards some nice 50s with the next little patch of something on Saturday. But, that is then. It is only Monday. So enjoy this nice week. This has been your Denver 7 On-Demand Update. Thanks for joining us. We're going to have another one for you later tonight. Download the Denver 7 app as well. You'll get breaking news and alerts. I'm Shannon Ogden.